So, here we are on a pop-tastic day in a pop-tastic mood, making a pop-tastic movie review. Hey, that almost rhymed, but enough about that. My name is Silverreploid and welcome to a movie review. I'm about to review with you guys on what I watched recently that really caught my eye and that I watched in its entirety, even though certain times I watched and of course pause at some point because I wanted to do something on the side. But either way guys, we're finally here with our first ever movie review, and by first ever I mean the fact that I'm doing a movie review in this stylization of doing a movie review for you guys, because well, I asked you guys would you like me to review one of the movies, and it led to not only a high unhesitation of saying yes, but the fact that I think it's been a long time since I've done a movie review, period. Although I did do reactions on some movie trailers, but in terms of doing movie reviews in this stylization, like where I, like what you're seeing right now, I decided to pen it out this way, let alone just doing it in a stylization as if I were to do a reaction video. But this time guys, we're doing something mighty different in terms of reviewing. However, before we get started with this movie review, if you want to see more of these types of reviews on movies that you want me to check out, and of course give you guys my take on it, please be sure to hit the like button, leave your comments down below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button with the notification bell activated. That said, let us now commence our pop-tastic movie review. First things first, to my K-pop viewers, 안녕하세요, 반갑습니다. And you're probably wondering what movie am I here to give you guys my full-fledged take on today in this movie review. Well, given that I speak a little Korean, and given that you guys recognize the language and everything, and given the fact that I'm also a K-pop aficionado when it comes to listening to K-pop, and of course finding some that I mostly like, and in terms of the K-pop songs that I mostly like, I'm going to show you guys the songs that really let my ear be caught up in such a very hesitant position to keep on listening over and over again. In other words, some of the K-pop songs that I found highly favorable, and some that I would love to listen to every day given the notion taken. Today's movie that I'm reviewing for you guys for today's movie review, K-pop Demon Hunters, which I'm sure most of you have already seen by now because, well, it has been one of the trending movies that have been trending for quite some time, with the favorable amazing K-pop music that's been playing for some time, in or out of the concert if you will. The battle between two Korean pop-tastic musical groups, Huntrix and the Saja Boys, versing against each other with their amazing sensation of music, wowing the fans, making them demand for more. But let alone just the musical performances, let's not forget about the fine eateries and the fact that the demon hunters are literally slaying any demon that they encounter. The demons that are working with an unhinged, demonized entity named Gimma, also their master by the way, who wanted to transition the entire world into his own image by stealing souls. So let's just say that he decided to hire the Saja Boys. Well, not basically hire per se, but he wanted to find someone or some people to deliberately make a mockery out of Huntrix, a music group featuring three beautiful and colorful ladies that perform formidably well on stage: Rumi, Mira, and Zoe. And let me just lay this out there. When I say they go all out with their stuff, I mean literally they go all out. Getting back to the full morale, however, let's just say that Gimma wanted the Saja Boys, after the Saja Boys showed Gimma a prime example as to how they can top the top, if you will. Gimma demanded the Saja Boys to steal not only the Huntrix's thunder, but also the souls of the many fans who also favored the Huntrix. In other words, he wanted the entirety of the city to go beautifully blue to ravenously red. Of course, throughout the movie, both two important characters, well, don't get me wrong, most of them are important, but the two most important characters have dark secrets that are unveiled within them. Right off the bat, Gino, the head of the Saja Boys, who's also a demon, have demonized marks on his body, festered with so many terrible memories of his family, how they were poor and how they were hungry and everything else that transpired down that time frame. He wanted to get rid of those memories and move on from them, but with the help of Gimma, he helped him do just that, but under his orders. Meanwhile, in the Huntrix's perspective, as they continue their stargazing and musical career, they encountered the Saja Boys literally outperforming them, so to say. But regardless of the ordeal where it entails, a battle between two K-pop groups versing against each other in terms of mass potential, the leaders within both groups had their own dilemmas to deal with. From the very beginning, as they go through and through with their journey, despite the problems that they've been festered with, you might think of them as enemies at first, right? Well, frankly, as the story continues through and through, they seem to kind of reconcile in a way. Even though technically they don't see eye to eye on certain situations, but as time passed and as they come to a full acknowledgement in regards to their problems through and through, they decide to everyone recognizes that transition, honestly. Of course, Rumi decided to initiate a proposal as to what they can do in order to help each other out with their problems before entering the Idol Awards. If Huntrix wins the Idol Awards, Rumi promised Gino that she will help him erase the terrible memories of his past. But given that Gimma saw through it all, he didn't like that idea. He didn't take it very lightly. So in a menacing manner, so to say, Gimma decided to take the matter into his own hands. Well, he promised Gino that he would take the matter into his own hands, his own way, by making it much more worse for Gino himself. Which, if I'm being brutally honest, is completely messed up, especially in Gino's case. In my opinion, the star-crossed thing about the whole movie altogether, given that we're getting close to the end, was that, before we get to that part, the part where Rumi unveils the truth about herself, her innermost truth, that she has marked, so she has that innermost demon blood within herself. And Zoe and Mira both temporarily turn against her, considering that they found out the truth when they were competing in the Idol Awards. That was the first thing about it, and the part where she confronted Gino after he told her that he lied to her. This is all the work of Gimma, who wanted him to turn against her, even after the proposal that Rumi herself made with him to help him erase the past memories. What happens next? Things got a little more deteriorating than it already has been. As I mentioned earlier, Gimma wanted to turn the whole world into his own image, in other words, also having people involved following his demands and everything. And of course, he also captured both the minds of both Mira and Zoe both. As I got to the end, let's just say that the Thousand Boys performed, and Rumi herself opened her true self, even though regardless of the many troubles that she's been facing for some time now, she found a way to beat the curse of Gimma, in hopes to restore not only the souls of the amazing fan base, but also her friends who were also being manipulated by Gimma himself. What happens next? They slay. And that was how it's done, but not quite yet, because, well, another star-crossed part about it was how Gino sacrificed his own amazing music-tastic life to save Rumi from the ordeal against Gimma. But to say the most though, they completely understood each other from the very beginning, even though they had a lot of differences based on their talents and everything else. Both are amazing music groups and amazing people along the way too, despite their differences. But thankfully, Gino was free from Gimma's curse. And speaking of free, another one of my favorite K-pop songs along like This Is How It's Done. So as time had passed, everyone were saved, the fan base were saved, and everyone else down the line were saved from the ordeal of Gimma, and the girls of Huntrix take their hiatus, which was well deserved, because, well, after all of the stuff they went through and everything, they deserve a break. And now to review to you my 3 favorite songs from the movie. Free, sung by both Gino and Rumi. This Is How It's Done, how it was sung at the end when things were getting heated. And lastly, Golden, because how they performed so well is mighty golden. And that goes to show you how much I love K-pop. And the very first time the very first time I started looking at K-pop was like years. And given that I've seen this title come forth and the trailer of the movie, I just had to say yes to watching the movie in its entirety. I'd watch it again if I wanted to. Honestly, it was an incredible opportunity. Into the cast of K-pop Demon Hunters, into the amazing music group, to all Korea all together, this is from me, 감사합니다. And that is where I end my movie review of K-pop Demon Hunters, which I hope you guys enjoyed very, very much. If you haven't seen the movie already, well, in terms of my rating, I would give it a 10 out of 10 because, well, knowing K-pop for a long time during my school days, it takes me way back. I remember like it was yesterday. And if you're a K-pop fan yourself, which I am, also a lover of K-pop, you would definitely not be disappointed when you watch this movie. You will be definitely glad that you did. Makes you want to go to youtube.com to search up the music and everything. Just listen to it over and over again, because trust me, I love to do that too. So if you've yet to see the movie K-Pop Demon Hunters, please go check it out now on Netflix whenever you can. And if you enjoyed this movie review, please hit the like button once again, leave your comments down below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button with the notifications activated. And with that being said, guys, just watching the movie all together makes you want to make more and more lo-fi music if you think about it. But because, well, I love music, and given that most of us love music, we love music groups. We love music groups, we love songs. And we love songs, we love being inspired to make them, and of course dance along the way too. And that in itself is definitely what I want to get into the morality to doing. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to musically conclude this video for you guys. And yeah, with that being said, have a blessed and safe Wednesday, and keep on listening to music. Peace out. Much love. Hey guys, Silverreploid CLE here. I want to thank all of you for watching this video. Please smash on the like button, subscribe for more content if you're new, and please turn on the push notifications. And also, please make sure you check out my other videos or any video on display and show tons of love and support for not only me, but to those who are also involved. Have a great one, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!